Well, we're connecting all the assets of supply chain and logistic processes to the internet.
Okay.
So what does it mean? Is that we take a tracker, we hang it on the asset, and the next 10 years we will know where it is, how much it's used, if there are certain temperature conditions that are, for example, not met. And in that way, these companies or customers have a constant visibility on all their assets. They can detect bottlenecks, they can optimize their whole processes, and they can provide new services to the customers. So that's pretty cool.
That's very clear.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing is regarding simplicity. We was working on IoT already 10 of years. I think in 2000 we started. And one of the most difficult pieces, like how do we bring this from a technological level to something that's really usable for a customer.
Okay.
And one of the important parts is the installation. It should be as simple as a sticker, we said.
Yeah.
So at that point, you don't want to do wiring. You just want to take a tracker, and you take the tracker, you hang it on the asset, and that's it. At that point, it should work. You should have a direct visualization where it is, and if it's used. And I think that's the big difference between the early days of IoT and where we are now.
So, what does that mean for you? What is it just works? Because for me, if I buy something, it always just should work.
Well, that's the nice thing. Although it seems really simple, such a tracker, and that's what you also always want to realize, something that looks simple, but that is not so simple. Just like when you look to your mobile phone, let's talk first about battery life.
Yeah.
So when you look to your mobile phone and you say, okay, I want to know where I am, you put on your GPS, for example, but you see that your battery is empty in less than 1 day. I think we all had it, that you were walking around and so, oh, my battery is almost empty. Well, we realized to bring this thing to a battery life of 10 years. But we, at this point, even can guarantee. And this is not an easy job. Just think again on your phone, how can we last that for 10 years? And so this means that on all levels you should take this into account. This is on the component selection, to having the newest components on the market. This means that you need to have the firmware that's totally updated, to have very low sleep currents. And it's also from the cloud to constantly monitor if all those parameters are working correctly and interact or intervene when something goes wrong. And it's in that way we make this that it just works and that we can last for 10 years. I think it's the battery life and end-to-end. You cannot solve this problem just by having hardware with some firmware and something else in the cloud. And they should be really interwoven to have the full coordination between the cloud and the edge. And this is not only for battery, but it's also for reliability, for example. We have patented data recovery on our trackers. And it's important because sometimes you're in a zone where there's no coverage and you want to recover the data, because it could be important, for example, for a legal case, or to exactly calculate how much an asset is used for use models.
Get back 10 years ago, we started with the idea, well, it's easy, we just connect the unconnected. We digitize everything from assets in industrial manufacturing and logistics, because then everything becomes visible. If it's visible, you can change your processes. If you can change your processes, you create a lot of added value, because you detect things that you could not see before. Indeed. So there's a lot of things to optimize and money to be made by our end customers. And what we did over the last 10 years is actually make this easy to be done. because
Exactly.
the complexity is actually huge behind the scenes. A lot of low power, a lot of unknown constraints, battery issues, localization issues, network issues. So we're in a complete ocean of challenges, I would call it, and not a lot of people went there already because there's abundant of energy when you look at normal software development and stuff like that. So we actually went through that by optimizing the whole chain from the start of the component till the process integration at the customer. So the customer feels the iPhone, Apple experience, it just works, and you solve all the shit behind the scenes.
Indeed, that's our goal. It's to unworry customers. They should really think on where's the business, and they should not think about how do we resolve the operational issues with IoT.
Yeah.
That's our problem. And I have to say, we're in with the biggest companies. We're in with the Airbuses, we're in the automotive industry, we're in other companies in the aerospace and in industrial manufacturing. And I think where we had to still explain what important was of our solutions, say 10 to 5 years ago, no, I think it's clear, the world should be connected. I think when we will look in 10 years from now and we will look back, we will say in which far west were we living. So there are incredibly amount of expensive goods that are traveling around without nobody knowing where it is or how much it's used. Sure, we want to make it more easy for them to manage their assets and manage the process. I think one of the biggest changes we had was in the beginning we were connecting assets. So we put a tracker on it and we knew where it was. I think the mental change, what was also, I remember a battle internally, should we go from connected assets and say the word that we would go to connected processes? Because it's not about just connecting the assets, that's technology talk. It's about how can we make the difference for the persons in the field. And
change the job.
Change the job. And so it's not that we are that they don't have a job anymore. No, it's just a different job that they do, and another way how we interacted with these processes, make sure that we can deliver things on time, that we work more efficient, and that in the weekends you don't have to lie awake anymore like, will next week our process run well, yes or no? No, you work on numbers, you work on data, not anymore on pure Fingerspitzengefühl.
You're a pure cloud guy.
Yes.
Are you still pure cloud guy?
My heart is still a cloud guy, but we did a lot of hardware. Just because the moment we started, we tried with third-party hardware. You cannot solve this, and we didn't find any hardware that could solve our problem. The fact is that this cloud is fully interlinked with the firmware and the hardware. But I have to say, indeed, it's a love-hate relationship. We love it, but it's like the cloud. We have a lot of space. We can always debug really easy when something goes wrong. There, all those trackers are in the field in really rough environments where you cannot go to debug it. So it's like this is much. There's also a challenge to do that. We should be first time right. It should be fully controlled. But from now, having the combination is pretty cool. It's like for the engineers also working here, when I see everybody working on this product, it's like don't know many places where you could do this outside this company. And that.
Well, I'm happy we went from zero to today. We're still on our journey. It's not yet done yet. There's a lot of things to do. We see a lot of changes around us. So yeah, let's keep going forward.
Indeed.
And connect more assets, connect more processes, and just change the world day by day. No?
Exactly. That's where we're going for.
Thanks, man.
Good. Bye.